Hello everybody, hope we're all doing well. Hope you guys had a great and safe weekend. Welcome back to what could be some of the biggest news here on Esports Talk we've had in quite some time. And that's saying a lot because we've talked a lot about OpTic and of course Hector and amongst other players as well. But I hope you guys really do enjoy because breaking news as of this past weekend, unfortunately I was not here when it did break right away. But yes, of course we're going to talk about this. That being Hector Rodriguez, first of all, start out the weekend with a big announcement. That being a very sad announcement, his departure from OpTic Gaming. He made a statement via Twitter about him and Immortals. He'd actually been in discussion with them for quite some time, and he has now made his leave of absence from that parent company and will not be continuing with OpTic Gaming. Even more so, he did drop a video where at the very beginning he did say the words which they're kind of sad to hear, right? Obviously this entire thing is a very sad circumstance for a lot of OpTic fans out there, and here are the words he did post in that video. The video as well linked down below for all of you guys
watching this. As you guys know by now, I am no longer a part of OpTic Gaming. And I'm not going to go into the cliche that I never thought that I would say these words. That's a given.
And if we stop right there, this situation is incredibly sad, right? It's an end of an era. It's an end of a legacy here in esports, and it's still crazy. A really, really wild thought to have that one of the biggest, most successful, most widely known esports organizations is no longer. Without Hector, I agree with a lot of you guys out there, it's not the same OpTic. They will probably not have a lot of the same players, if any of the remaining players underneath their one team currently, that being LA OpTic, will be the only remaining team with the OpTic name, and they might not even see any of the players we do actually know and the ones we've actually come to know and love. But the story does not end there. If you guys actually, I'm sure a lot of you did watch the end of that video, Hector Rodriguez has now joined a new organization. And this brings to light a lot of things we talked about last week because, we saw the announcements that were made. Apparently, LA OpTic could have been 4 of the former OpTic guys, including bringing back Formal and, of course, not actually bringing back Karma. So they were going to leave Crimsix and Karma out of there as well. Apparently, Hector could have gone with that team to LA OpTic, but that's not the case. And luckily enough, that did not make sense. It didn't seem like the right ending to this story. I'm not sure this is, but this is absolutely insane, guys, as Hector Rodriguez now joins NRG as the co-CEO. Just like that, our boy has now joined one of the biggest and fastest growing NA organizations currently in esports, and I did not see this coming. Not in 100 years could I have guessed he was going to join NRG. Of all the organizations out there, we talked about this, we speculated this, guys. I did not guess anywhere outside of Texas he would be located, if not doing his own thing, and he has now joined NRG.
And for that, I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
But there's a part of me that it's gonna bother me for a while because especially when these things happen and you're like, it makes sense, right? All of the years he spent in Chicago before the team relocated to Texas, that's the one piece that maybe fits this crazy puzzle of Hector going to NRG. Alongside that, though, I love the move. It makes a lot of sense, especially because as of latest, Call of Duty Intel rumors, guys, also linked down below for all of you, we have possibly Scump and Formal going to that NRG Chicago team as they've now solidified themselves a Chicago spot for the Call of Duty franchise, which I'm sure Hector will have a large hand in playing. If you guys also watched the entire video, it sounded like he would be kind of some sort of head of content or actually have a big say in what content is actually done around their Call of Duty team and hopefully other teams as well, which I'm sure he'll have a hand in that on top of everything else. It's just so crazy. This is I can't even stress to all of you guys, when I do news like this is news I am super happy to do, super proud to do, and just really excited to come back on a Monday and share with all of you. Now, very lastly, it's really cool to see Hector choosing an organization like NRG. Not only are they fast growing, but a lot of his former players, potentially not only Call of Duty, also CSGO, Gears of War, I can name others as well. A lot of former OpTic members that you guys have come to know and love are on that NRG roster as they pick up other rosters out there who are former OpTic guys. It's super cool to see Hector rejoin an organization where I would say a majority of his players that once were OpTic are now there. More than any other organization, they have picked up, I would say, most of the OpTic members. Now, of course, you have Houston Outlaws guys going elsewhere. A lot of the teams have been dropped ever since, but if you want a single organization out there who has the most former OpTic members, he has chosen the correct one there. Along with that, he will have a Call of Duty roster as well, so it'll continue, and it seems like his new organization, that new thought that we actually had cross our minds, is not going to happen, but he is now co-CEO of another North American top organization, and certainly bringing with it his highest fan base. Thanks to Misery in our Discord as well, it seems that Chicago so far for Call of Duty organizations now has the highest follower count after being announced just a few days ago. He brings a huge audience, he brings a huge fan base, and he brings a huge amount of excitement, not only from me, but I'm sure many of you guys out there. So what are your thoughts on this? Absolutely insane, guys. Hecz has now left OpTic. I thought it would be an incredibly sad day. It still is, but he joins NRG in such a fashion, such a surprise, and such a making sense move that I am super excited for the future of this, and I really am curious now where people of OpTic do stand. Will we follow the LA OpTic roster? Will we follow any of those former OpTic guys? Or will we follow Hecz? Or can we follow all of them? I think everyone's going to be on different grounds when we approach these topics as we cover them more here on Esports Talk. As always, my name is Jake. I hope you guys all enjoy the great, really happy news to start the Monday morning. I'll be back here all day long breaking down other news. I hope you guys all enjoy. Thank you all for listening, and I'll see you back here sometime soon.